it, and so
fleeting.
Kristen told me.
Okay.
It'll be gone. It doesn't
See,
last
we're learning.
forever.
So the importance of it is in
Like feminine?
So ephemera.
just because we would like every single one of your artists talk about it.
Yeah.
So
And you taught me about the word too.
okay, well it's critical just to what he's doing here versus what, or just talk about
So it's like, you know, when
being
you
in the
put up-
moment.
You put up your pasters. You know those aren't going to be there forever. You know, they might last a day. They
How do you
might
feel
last a
about your
week,
work?
They might be there a month, but they're going to be gone. So what they're asking is your process on, as opposed to this, where this is going to be there for a long time. You know,
You're
these
doing
other
this
these
piece for the street. How do you feel about leaving it out there?
So how do you feel about it just like eventually disappearing?
Well, I mean, if you're gonna make art out in a public space, you kind of have to accept the fact that you don't have ownership of it anymore. Like once it's come out of your hands, it's owned by the community, and I think you'll remain a lot healthier mentally if that's the way you take it. Other people, they put a piece out, they want it to live there forever. They get mad if you go over it by an inch or whatever. But the way I look at it, just like I said, is once it's out there, it's out there. You don't own it anymore, you know. And if you do a mural, it is kind of on you to take care of it. So some kid might come by and tag it, and you're supposed to go fix it. You know, if
Okay.
you don't fix it, it's gonna disappear. I guess it's just how you care about it.
get
But there's
that.
there's other segments, you know, like wheat pasting. You wheat paste. Part of the fun of wheat pasting is watching it disintegrate and become like this beat up rag that's on the street.
Oh,
you know,
interesting.
I've had like a wheat paste in, this one was in Venice Beach, over next to the airport. It's like, you go underneath this bridge on Washington or whatever, and there's a pillar, and I put a wheat paste there, and it was there for like 4 years, which was crazy. Other people started pasting around it, and then the city would come by and buff all their pieces and leave my piece. It was the weirdest thing. So it's kind
What
of
was that
fun to
piece
like,
about?
it wasn't about anything. It was like a stupid logo. It didn't have any meaning at all. It was just like a skull with like little knives and a LEBA. I don't know, but the guy that whoever the buffing guy is, he must have liked that piece.
So there's this is an interesting way of explaining the process in ephemera and like whether your work stays. This will stay.
This will stay, but somebody might come and add to it. You never know. And then
There-
I'll be back.
So you're open-minded.
It is, you know, it's a day by day thing. Art's a day by day thing, you know. Just got to try to get better every day and stack one more chip every day.
And then
great, I like
one
that.
more thing,
I like
just
that.
talk about the because that's something that happens a lot. Was that we talk to a lot of people and they we hate to see it use the word sell out. Like they're just like, fuck it, I just am gonna work for the Discovery Channel and be a camera operator or whatever, just because they can't hack, so to speak. They don't like living in that fear and that constant state of security. Like when you're hot, when you're not. So it's kind of like, how can you talk a little bit about that the peace within that you get from just like
I could
having
definitely bring it
faith
out. I understand.
faith that the jobs come in or not.
It's tough, you know. It's like anytime you know, once you become an artist, you're kind of like picking a new career, you know, and you just kind of have to accept the fact that for the first couple of years you're gonna be broke, and then hopefully, you know, you just get better and you build more clients and you get paid more. And
We took a risk to come out here from Indiana to LA, this big city with
I think I had like $140. Yeah.
there was your I'm gonna jump off the high dive, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna try it,
Yeah.
I'm gonna see what happens. And
You have to have that spirit.
what's kept you out here? What's kept you from going back to Indiana?
I've just been
and
really
delivering pizzas?
blessed. I've just been really blessed, like with great people, you know. And I think, you know, if you're a good person, you try to do good things will come, you know. And I just feel like God's really blessed me with a lot of great people in my life. And if you just work hard, like if you're willing to work harder than other people, like you'll always, you know, make it.
Right.
But that's the thing, you might have to be a camera operator at Discovery 12 hours a day and then come home and like shoot your own film for
Right.
another 4 hours, sleep for 4 hours, and then go back to Discovery.
It's whatever it takes.
It's whatever it takes, you know. If you really love it, you're gonna do it anyway. And then hopefully, you know, you can phase out that day job and then your job is your passion job. But it takes time, you know, it's not gonna be
Are you there
overnight.
yet? Or are you?
I'm just getting there, really. It was kind of like, the turning point was when I went to go help my brother with schizophrenia because he was like really freaking out. I was totally neglecting all these web jobs. I had lost a bunch of big clients I had. And when I came back, I had like nothing. I was like borrowing money from people to like put gas in my car to get back. And when I got here, I was like, I just need to start hustling my art because I had all these paintings sitting in my living room or whatever. I sold like 6 paintings that week. just from hitting people up, and then it's just been going since then. It's been like a year and a half. It's just getting better and better and better.
Yeah, right when I walked in and met you, you see you have a calm about you, and like this is what you're doing today. This is what you're working on, and you're able to share about it and like where you've come from and why you're doing it and how it's going to help people, and that's your story. And I think it's inspiring, and
it's tough, you know. But you know, people look at artists and they think you're walking on roses. What they don't realize is underneath all those roses is thorns, you know. And,
right. You're choosing to look at the rose, not the thorn.
Yeah, it's gonna be hard, man. Anytime you want to follow what you're gonna do is gonna be hard. But for me, it's like I didn't want to be on my deathbed and be like, oh, remember that craft website I made? That thing was tight. You know? You want to be like, I did something for myself. I built myself up. I did what I wanted to do, you know. And then you can die happy.
Helps others, though.
Well, I turned 30 this month, and
congratulations.
Thanks.
I
had this kid that he was like 18 or whatever. He's like, oh man, are you going through a midlife crisis? And I was like, that's for people that aren't doing what they want to do, you know? You spend your whole life doing the things you're told to do, but you never do what you want to do, and then you're like 40 or 50 or 60, and you flip out, you know?
Yeah.
So I don't think I'll ever probably have a midlife crisis.
Sounds like you're on course.
Well, one of the things that I always found impressive about LEBA also is that besides the fact that he doesn't rest, that he's constantly producing, is that he's constantly learning. And the amount of varied interest in the little time that I've spent with him recently, I've learned how many interests he has around, you know, besides panning for gold, besides his knowledge of politics, his ability to build things electronically, the fact that he can write code, you know, all
3D
these,
printing.
That always learning, always pushing himself.
Always remaining teachable. That's
I can't sit still. I think I had ADD, but I think it's a benefit.
Works for you.
I have friends that can just sit and smoke cigarettes all day and just talk, and I'm like, I couldn't do that. I don't know.
That's awesome.
Me neither.